So, guys, let's start on how to download Unity. First, you need to go to store.unity.com/download. Next, you have to check this mark and click on Download Unity Hub. If you're using Mac OS, click on this button. Next, if you downloaded it yet, and you can open Unity Hub. I I already opened it, so I already created a new project. I will show you how to create a new project. New project. Select the type which you want. Here I'll be using TV. Name it and whatever you want, and then click on create project. Here I already have created a project and I have opened it. It will take a while to complete creating the project. Bef- Before, let's look at how to move around in the scene tab. First, right click and move your mouse. Then you can look around if you want to go forward, left or right. Just right click, forward, backward, le- forward, backward, left, right. So this is the basic creation, but let's get into the main physics of this game game engine. First, let's create a cube, and as you can see, this is cube on the main. Well, first name it to whatever you want. I mistakenly named it A, but let's name this maybe ground. Let's right. Yeah. Let's name this ground. Next, let's scale this to about 10 and 20. 10 on the x and 20 on the z. 1 on the y. If you want to go higher, you can choose 30 or any higher. I'm choosing 30 for now. Next, we can right click and create 3D object capsule. Capsule is going to be a player. Move up the capsule and build. Boom. We have a player value. Just rename it to player. Next, click enter to add physics. Move it up. Click on add component. Rigid body. Afterwards, you'll see something like this pop up on your inspector on the player. Next, if you click on play, nothing seems to be happening. That is because the camera is looking this way and the actions are done here. So we need to select the camera, move it, and then to use with hand the rotate tool, just click on E. Then you can open the rotate tool. If you want to use move tool, W. And if you want to resize it, click on R. These simple project, simple keys to press. Now we need rotating, so press E and rotate it to the player, I guess. And click on play, and your first ever Unity project has been created. You can stop it by clicking on the play button again. This does now to add collisions. We need a capsule collider or box or any type of colliders. But it should be cylindrical and be visible to our skin. Next, mesh colliders are one of the basic things to add in a capsule or any other, since it shows the actual skin. It shows the mesh around the player or object. Next, let's move to skips. I like to create a new folder for skips and create a new C-side skip. Let's just rename this maybe player movement. Open that, double click it and open it. I am using Visual Studio for this. So you can use any other, but it's show up in a .cs form. Next, first, you can remove the void start and the comments. Comments are just some piece of text which you understand, but the computer does not take in the hand. I can delete that, and we can create a new variable called player game object. Now, 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 this player object has to need a type in variables concept. Let's. It should be a game object, but we don't need the game object here. We need the rigid body. You need to type in rigid body. Rigid, rigid body. If it's in a 2D game, you have to type 2D. If it's a 2D game, and you have to add a 2D rigid body 2D. But we are creating a 3D game, so this is this also needs a have a parameter before it, public or private. I'm going to make it public so we can access it in the inspector. Next, you can go to the update function and go inside it and get a few if statements. If statements are the conditions of when a statement is true or false. If it's true, it runs the code. If it's false, it ignores it and goes to the else block. Now the else block is when a function is wrong. A if statement is wrong. If 1 plus 1 equals 5, then it's do something. But 1 plus 1 is not 5, it is 2. So it will not come with the right answer, so it returns false. Here's where the else block comes in handy. Else uses the false condition of an if statement. Now, first, let's go back to writing the code. If what? Input. The input on the keyboard is input dot get key. Get key. Next, put some parentheses and inside there, just type in anything. Maybe up, down, right, left. You have to type in a key. If you want to use WASD keys, then have to select those keys. But I'm going to use arrow keys for now. For arrow keys, it is up and up, down, left, right on the keyboard. First for up, let's make it move forward. To make it move forward, we need some we need some code to input. So first our player game object dot what what we need to change about our player game object. We need to change it velocity or the position. But we need to change the velocity. Velocity. Velocity to make it move forward. Velocity e- plus equals some number. Mm, some number which can be 1 or 2. But we don't input 1 or 2 since it needs a parameter for x, y, and z. Just type new vector t, make some brackets and sorry, make some parentheses and write your level x, y, z in that order. X should be the right and left of the object. Y should be the up and down of the object. Z is the forward and backward of the object. We need to move forward. So 0, 0, 1, maybe 10. This process is quite hard since every time we click on the up arrow, the speed will increase by 10. Let's check this out. You have to save it by Ctrl S and we can go back to the project which we have created. Sorry, we need pinches for this and this. I always forget them. Next, there should not be any input. Oh, sorry. Again. Mm. Okay, so here now with no S, just select player movement and drag it onto a player. And if you click on player, you should see a run. You should see a player movement skip attached to it. Here it show up now. It show up. We need the rigid body. We have to drag it in. If you don't want to do this process, just hang with me. Just get a private. This is most people prefer. Start void start and that player game up. Sorry, that first of all we need the so we make that player game object equals to get component sorry get, get component princess. I don't know what this is called, but hang with me. Select those and like a comment. We need rigid body, so type in rigid body body. Next is a swap, but I like to do it this way. This my method is not most people use. The most people use the other method which I just showed you, but I like to use it. So hang with me. So now, if you see, every time we click on the up arrow key, the velocity will increase. we cannot see this effect because the camera is not following the player. And we also need to increase the size of the ground. We just click on R and increase it by a lot. Next, click on uh, our camera and make it a child of the player. Click on play and your first. It doesn't seem like anything is happening. But now, after you fall off, you'll see some mutation and your first Unity project.